Hey, have you ever thought about whether UFC fighters are underpaid?
Yeah, it's a topic that comes up quite often. From what I've seen, many people believe UFC fighters don't get paid what they deserve, especially compared to other major sports.
Exactly. I mean, when you look at the risk these fighters take, it seems like they should be earning a lot more. They put their health and lives on the line every time they step into the octagon.
That's true. The physical toll is enormous, not to mention the years of training and discipline required to reach the UFC level. The question of pay often comes down to the revenue the UFC generates compared to what the fighters earn.
Right, and the UFC makes a lot of money. Pay-per-view sales, sponsorships, and merchandise bring in huge amounts of revenue. But it seems like a small percentage of that goes to the fighters.
Yes, according to reports, fighters get about 15 to 20% of the UFC's revenue. In contrast, athletes in other sports leagues like the NBA and NFL receive close to 50% of the revenue. That's a massive difference.
It is, and let's not forget the disparity within the UFC itself. The top fighters, like Conor McGregor or Khabib Nurmagomedov, make millions, but most fighters on the undercard earn significantly less. Some barely make enough to cover their training expenses.
That's a good point. The pay structure in the UFC is highly uneven. Top-tier fighters earn the lion's share, while newcomers or less popular fighters struggle financially. They have to pay for their training camps, coaches, and medical expenses, which can eat up a significant portion of their earnings.
And it's not just the fight purses. Many fighters rely on performance bonuses or sponsorship deals to supplement their income. But the UFC has strict controls over sponsorships, limiting what fighters can earn outside their fight purses.
Yes, the Reebok deal was a big one. When the UFC signed that exclusive deal with Reebok, it significantly limited fighters' ability to wear their own sponsors' logos during fight week and on fight night. That hurt a lot of fighters financially.
It did. The fighters' sponsorship earnings dropped drastically. Before the deal, fighters could negotiate their own deals, often making good money from sponsors. After the deal, the uniformity of the sponsorship meant less individual revenue.
Exactly, and it's not like every fighter gets those big performance bonuses either. Winning Fight of the Night or Performance of the Night bonuses is great, but it's not guaranteed income. Fighters can't rely on that to make ends meet.
True. Another aspect is the lack of long-term financial security. Fighters don't have pensions or significant benefits. Once their career is over, they might not have much saved up, especially if they didn't reach the top echelons of the sport.
That's where unionization could potentially help. There have been talks and efforts to form a fighters' union, which could negotiate better pay, benefits, and working conditions. However, organizing fighters has proven to be difficult.
It makes sense. Fighters are independent contractors and not employees of the UFC, which complicates unionization. Plus, the fear of retaliation or being blacklisted makes many fighters hesitant to push for a union.
Absolutely. The UFC holds significant power over fighters' careers. Speaking out against pay or conditions can jeopardize a fighter's standing with the organization. It's a tough situation.
It really is. It seems like there needs to be a balance where fighters are adequately compensated for the risks they take and the entertainment they provide. The current pay structure doesn't seem to reflect that balance.
I agree. The UFC has grown exponentially, and it's time that growth is reflected in fighter pay. These athletes deserve a fair share of the profits they help generate.
Hopefully, with more awareness and advocacy, we'll see some changes in the future. UFC fighters give everything they have in the octagon, and they deserve to be compensated fairly.